Hey, what's up, everybody? It's month 2 coming at you again. What I'm doing today is I'm going to do a quick little update to answer some questions that people have been posing to me, or to get at some questions some people have been asking me about my DPMS and some other things. And I'm going to throw a quick little review in and somewhat rant on a few things. First of all, let me move this over. You can see. Should have had this in order. This is my DPMS. Some of you, let me zoom out. Some of you may have noticed that I've painted it. I don't know if you can see the color scheme, but it's actually kind of every year I change the color of my gun depending on the season. In the springtime I have lighter colors on it, lighter camouflage. In the fall I put a darker camouflage on it. I use just regular Walmart camouflage paint. It's held up for me pretty good, and it's worked in the field and testing. Doing some running games with some of my friends. One question I got today was someone was asking me were the parts interchangeable, and for the DPMS it's somewhat proprietary. It's not. As you can see, two things that are to answer that question. The grip is interchangeable with the standard AR-15 grip, and so is the stock. I have a standard Voltor stock on here. Nothing special about it. It's not specialized for the 308 or anything like that. And what else? Some other modifications I made. Those are the two things that I know are interchangeable. The pins are definitely not interchangeable. I did a little quick thing a few minutes ago to answer another question I was trying to see. I knew it was pretty much a no-no, but I was trying to see if the AR-15 upper would fit on this frame, and of course it didn't. The pins were too large and they wouldn't even go into AR-15 upper. I'm sure it was designed like that to keep people from making that mistake or trying something like that. To go back to some of the changes I made, look at mine here. I put on because one thing about the DPMS, which is kind of downer for me, is that the parts aren't that interchangeable with the AR-15, and of course that being the case, trying to do different things to it is going to be a little bit more expensive. VTAC makes a front end for the DPMS that's pretty nice. That will accept rails, and DPMS themselves also have rails. I noticed some people saying on the newer guns they come like that with the rail system instead of just this smooth, hard steel barrel forend. The free float design, of course, lends toward accuracy, and it's a nice look to it. But I buy my guns for form more so. For function more so than form. And not having that rail system, and not, it would have been simple for them to put grooves here or just to leave it where you can attach something, but they didn't. That wasn't their design, so be it. Anyhow, I augmented that by I attached the UTG front sight rail system here. It goes in just 2 little screws that screw in there and put pressure on it, and it fits my gun well. Now I did have to Loctite it. I put it on and it worked for a long time, but one day I was at the range shooting it and the whole thing popped loose. And I realized this screw had worked its way out, but ever since I put blue Loctite on it, it's held up. I put an EMA Tactical foregrip on here. Now this grip here is actually designed to be, put on the rail system more near the mag wheel, and for people who want to hold it like that. I actually like holding mine like that. I know a lot of people who are in that, in that mag pool school of thought, they like to hold, with their support on, they like to hold it here at the top like they teach it there in their programs. That's cool. That works for, I don't see any problem with it, but myself, I like to kind of hold a mag grip. And I'm a lefty, so it works for me. That way I can quickly change my mags. I don't have to move my arm as far back to change the magazine. One other thing about the DPMS, I told the guy today, and I think I mentioned in my earlier video that I had an in and dine buffer system on there. That works. The most I let my wife and a lot of other female friends shoot the weapon when we out on range events, and the only complaint, nobody ever really complained so much about the recoil, but about the weight of this gun. This gun is fully loaded with a 20 round mag, is right at about a little bit 12 pounds or more. That can be strenuous, especially for them people who like to run and gun. I don't believe in running gun, but I know a lot of people do. But even humping that gun and you know, running my bug out bag, you know, and that's, you know, it's tiring, man. You got to be in shape to do it. It's no joke. That's one of the reasons a lot of people may disagree with me, but I'm actually going to move back to the AR-15 platform as my primary carry and step away from the 308. I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to keep it, but I'm going back to the AR-15 platform. I just like it. It's lighter. I can carry more, and then I can carry more than one gun. If I want to carry my bolt action, I can carry that in conjunction with my AR-15, a lightweight. I'm looking at building a mid-length AR-15 5.56, and that's what I'm going to do. And another train of thought that I'm following now. And before I get into that, let me do one con about DPMS. This is the rear sight I have on it now. This is a UTG rear sight. If you look at the front of this rear sight, you'll see that it's leveled. It has thick, I don't know, you can see the thick sidewalls and the grooves for it. And I like that it holds good. I had been out shooting my rifle, and I had the red dot scope on it, and I had that, you know, co-witnessing with the sight that came with it. This is the sight that comes with the DPMS rifle. Look at that crap on the left-hand side there. And I started noticing, I said, man, this thing, you know, I look at it like that thing don't seem like it sits right. And that's what it, look how cheap that design is. You got a solid, you know, wall on this end, then you got this flap thing that, you know, can even, and you look at it there, it's lying down on the opposite end. DPMS slack with that. That's garbage. I don't keep it on my gun now. If you look at this again, you see how thick those walls on the side? That holds level and square. That's what I'm using on my rifles now. And another thing, speaking on that, I had previously the Bushnell trophy on here, and if you look in here, it has the green and red reticle. Let me see if you can see that in there. You can see it if you look like that. It's kind of cool. It can go red also. You can see. I'm sure you can see it. I'm going to do a little bit more testing with this, but I'm moving away from red dots. I'm going back to the old school way of doing it, just running iron sights and glass. Because you know, for those people who are along the you know, the mindset of, you know, imminent collapse and you know, WROL, catastrophes and all that kind of stuff, we're going to get batteries from in the future. You might can store up a lot now, but eventually they'll run out. So I want to, you know, just go back to the old common skills, you know, developing my skills more so than relying on electronics and lasers and dots. But not to knock them, you know, they do work. One thing I found though, this 308 vibrates the hell out of those red dots. I don't know, maybe it works better. I'm thinking if you're going to buy a red dot, to be honest, you know, I try to save money where it's possible. But if I were to put a red dot on my rifle from this point on, and I'm not going to do that, but for the people who want to do that, I would suggest go ahead, save up the money, and get your EOTech or aim point. I've known a lot of people who have the aim points, and they swear about them as far as battery life. That's key, because they, you know, they say that the battery life. You know, I hear guys saying they've been running for years on the same battery and all that kind of stuff. But that, you know, the aim point is pretty good. I've seen another, you know, I think they had a Dr. Optics and all that. Get your good quality red dot. I'm not saying Bushnell is slipping. I'm not saying, you know, I got the Bushnell, the ACAR clone here. I got the sight mark, you know, and some of this I was just testing. We carried in our store, and they work according to, you know, like a 223 and 5.56 and light recoiling weapons. They work fine. But on the let me see if I can turn the red dot on here so you can see it. Yeah, you can see that red dot there. They work fine. I haven't tested the red dot on the 308, but I'm gonna do that this weekend. I meant to do it last weekend to get a chance to do it. That's the way it is. But I'm just, you know, I'm sticking with the iron sights. I find that I can acquire my targets just as fast with the iron sights. You have to be careful though with the red dots. I don't know if you guys have examined that, but when you want to use the red dots and the illuminated sights, I suggest you keep them on near, like setting 1 or setting 2, the lowest setting possible, because if you use them indoors and if you war game it and you're trying to acquire a target, fast acquisition, you'll notice that if you have it set high, it'll be blurry, and it'll actually kind of, in a way, blind you. You won't be able to see the target that clear. You may pick up the silhouette, but you won't see the person that clear. And the other negative about that is that they'll be able to see you real clear, and that you don't want. So